top stories. Government holds consultations to discuss cost of living issues. Trinidad and Tobago records second case of monkeypox. And deadly protests erupt across Kenya over government tax hikes. Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Midday Newscast. Today is Thursday, the 13th of July, 2023. I'm Jason Davis. Nationally, the government of St. Kitts and Nevis, within the context of the revised Treaty of Chaguaramas established in the Caribbean community, has taken the necessary steps to address the applicable Common External Tariff, or CET, on a list of goods that comprised the family shopping list. The CET is a single tariff rate agreed to by all members of CARICOM on imports of a product from outside the CARICOM region. An invitation was extended to various business owners to attend a consultation on Wednesday at the St. Kitts and Nevis Customs and Excise Department's conference room. The overall objective of the consultation was for stakeholders to discuss measures that will ensure St. Kitts and Nevis realigns itself with the provisions of the revised Treaty of Chaguaramas while still establishing parameters to assist with the reduction of food prices in the Federation. Government officials, including Prime Minister the Honorable Dr. Terence Drew, Senior Minister and Minister of Commerce and Consumer Affairs the Right Honorable Dr. Denzel Douglas, and Ambassador to CARICOM His Excellency Larry Vaughan, met with representatives of major food suppliers and traders in an effort to find solutions to reduce the cost of food in the supermarkets. The Honorable Dr. Terence Drew, in his address to the attendees, spoke of the rising cost of food, which is driven by external forces, and the government's resolve in its efforts to find the right solutions that will bring relief to the people. The Prime Minister stated that it is critical for the family shopping list to be closely looked at to ensure that the cost of these essential items is more affordable. The St. Kitts and Nevis Fire and Rescue Services opened its 18th annual Children's Summer Camp on Wednesday. After a 2-year suspension due to the pandemic's restrictions, the summer camp was relaunched under the theme Rejuvenating and Educating the Minds of Our Children for a Safer Future. This year's event was opened in a brief ceremony at the camp's location, the Dr. William Connor Primary School, on Wednesday morning. In attendance were Prime Minister the Honorable Dr. Terence Drew, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of National Security Cecile Hull, Acting Chief Fire Officer Romel Williams, other Fire and Rescue Services officers, Camp Coordinator Fire Substation Officer Davron Clark, and nearly 80 children enrolled in the camp this year. The camp caters to children aged 5 to 12 and will run from July 12 to 14. The children will learn about water safety, fire safety, traffic safety, environmental health, disaster preparedness, and basic first aid. The camp ends on July 14 with a march through Basse-Terre, starting at Greenlands and ending at the Basse-Terre Fire Station. In other news, the Ministry of Environment and Climate Action is this week hosting a Barrier Analysis and Enabling Framework workshop at the St. Kitts Marriott Resort. This is a component of the Technology Needs Assessment Phase 4 project for St. Kitts and Nevis. The TNA is categorized as a national activity that helps countries to identify and analyze key technologies that can allow citizens to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and adapt to the impacts of climate change. Barrier analysis focuses on analyzing market conditions for each selected technology and identifying barriers to enhanced deployment. In this regard, the workshop is intended to provide some insight, some training, and some exposure. The ministry recognizes that identifying the technologies is one of the first steps that will help to advance national efforts to support the implementation of the Paris Agreement, an international agreement on climate change. The next phase includes identifying and analyzing any barriers that could hinder St. Kitts and Nevis from transferring and or spreading out these technologies. The two-day workshop is organized by UNEP Climate Change Center in Denmark and the Ministry of Environment, Climate Action, and Constituency Empowerment of St. Kitts and Nevis. It's delivered in collaboration with the University of the West Indies, Jamaica. The project is funded by the Global Environment Facility. Moving now to news on the regional scene. A second